the farmer with its flocks, goose and grain at the bank of the river, avoiding the canoe to the other side of the river, where it will become their new location or destination. That's their destination. So first, first the farmer will send the grain. Yes. The farmer will send the grain to the other side of the river, to the destination side of the river, and leave the we send the first and the grain to the destination side of the river, and leave the goose at the bank of the river. Then the farmer will leave the goose at the bank, and then the farmer will come back, leave the goose at the bank of the river. The farmer leave the goose at the bank of the river. Then the first and the grain will be at the destination. Then the goose will be at the bank of the river. Yeah, that's correct. So then the farmer, the fox, okay. Then the farmer was then send the fox. Mm. Then the farmer will then send the fox back to the bank of the river. You're correct. Back to the bank of the river. Uh-huh. The farmer will then send the fox from the destination point back to the bank of the river. Then the grain will only be left at the destination. Mhm. So when the farmer send the um, fox to the bank of the river, at the bank of the river, now we have the fox, the farmer, and the goose, and the grain is at the destination of the river. Mhm. So so the farmer will leave the fox at the bank of the river, and then send the goose to the destination side of the river, and leave the fox at the bank of the river. So at the destination of the river, we have the farmer, the goose, and the grain, and the fox will then be at the bank of the river. When you see the diagram, you see that it's a whole diagram, but there's a line dividing the diagram. Then put your mind on it. There's a line dividing the diagram. At the top is the destination. Down the line is the bank of the river. So everything that I say that is up of the diagram is the destination, is at the destination, and everything below the line dividing each diagram is the the bank of the river. So we are moving up. So I am on box 4. So right now, box 4. So right now on box 4, the farmer, the goose, and the grain is at the destination, whereas the fox is at the bank of the river. Mhm. So going back to stage 4, let me tell you about going back to stage 4, the grain. Okay, so let's start over again. But I'm starting over again for. So right now, the farmer, the fox, the goose, and the grain are at the bank of the river. Okay, so that means that everything up at in first every box there's a division in every box. So everything up the box is the bank. Everything down below the box is the destination. So at the bank of the river, we have the farmer, the fox, the goose, and the grain. Then the farmer sent the fox and the grain. Okay, it works seamlessly. Then the farmer, so follow. The farmer sent the fox and the grain to the destination and leaves the goose at the bank of the river. The destination is where the other side of the river where they are going to, they are located. So the farmer sent the fox and the grain to the destination and leave the goose at the bank of the river where they boarded the canoe. Then, so right now at the destination point of the other side of the river, we have the farmer, the fox, and the grain. And at the bank of the river, at the starting point, the goose is left over there. Then the farmer returned the fox back to the bank of the river. So then we have the fox and goose at the bank of the river, and the grain is left at the destination of the river. So the farmer, the goose, then the farmer take the goose from the bank of the river and cross it back to the destination point of the river. So right now we have the farmer, the goose, and the grain at the destination point, and then he leaves the fox at the bank of the river. So at the bank of the river, we have the fox. Then the farmer leaves the goose at the destination of the river and send back the fox and send back the grain to the fox, as fox doesn't use grain. So right at the bank of the river, we have the fox, we have the farmer, the fox, and the grain. Then the farmer leaves the fox with the grain with the fox because fox doesn't eat grain. Then the farmer moves back to the goose. So at the destination, we have the farmer and the goose, and the fox and the grain is at the bank of the river. Okay, so the farmer sent the fox and the grain, leave the fox and the grain at the bank of the river, and the goose was at the destination. Then the farmer leave the fox and the grain at the bank and moves to the destination. So at the destination, we have the farmer and the goose at the destination point of the river. Then the farmer take the goose along with him back to the bank of the river. So at the bank of the river, I have the farmer, the goose, the fox, and the grain. I have the farmer, the goose, the fox, and the grain. So the farmer then leave the fox and the grain at the bank of the river. Fox and the grain. Then the farmer then take the fox and the grain and send them to the destination of the river. So under the destination of the river, we have the farmer, the fox and the grain at the destination of the river. So and the goose should be at the bank of the river as fox doesn't eat grain. So right now the farmer, the fox and the goose is at the destination. And then the farmer send the fox and the grain and the farmer send fox to the goose at the bank. Uh, the farmer the farmer then send the fox. Fox and grain, so the fox and the grain is at the bank of the river. So the farmer send the the first and the goose is at the destination and the grain is at the bank. So the farmer send the goose back to the bank or the river and leave the fox. The farmer then leave the fox at the destination and send um, the farmer then send there's around they have the fox and the goose. So the farmer then send the grain at the destination. We have the farmer, the fox and the grain, and the goose is at the bank of the river. So the farmer, the fox and the goose. So the farmer send the fox to the bank of the river. So at the bank of the river, we have the farmer, the fox and the goose. They leave the grain at the destination. Then the farmer then send the grain to the bank of the river. So we have around the and leave and send the grain to the um the farmer, the fox and the grain is at the destination, the goose is at the bank. So farmer fox farmer fox okay farmer fox goose farmer fox goose and the goose is at the bank and the farmer and the fox at the is at so the farmer send the fox to the bank of the river. The farmer send the fox to the bank of the river and leave the grain at the destination. Then the farmer then goes and take the goose again. Then the farmer then goes okay, then the farmer then bring and the farmer then bring the grain to the goose at the bank and leave the fox at the destination. So it works inversely. That's how so in this case you can use this one I want to we are used to in World Wide Web information of LAN and WAN and intranet system, and it's also good so you can yes it can be used in building database. Ever I used to build my new database AI SQL based system that I am now publicizing and people to use. So in this one you can use to build a LAN system and one and it's also help you to build a database system that uses both iCloud and listen internet SQL. So this one is, as I said, it can be used in creating systems in data communication, open operating source, www. That is when I say one line, that's the bus topology, the star topology, and the main topology. So this one you can use it to create a very big time intranet service or extranet service where bus topology, using bus topology, star topology to form a very strong internet system that looks in the form of a web. It's like that thing that the children used to play. Oh, not chicken cry with me. Try the picture. And the chicken. Oh, yeah, atena ekasa ate yɛn kɔ aborɔkyi nkwadaa na wɔde kyɛn wɔn ade wɔ sukuu wotwi mu kɛseɛ etumi yɛ te sɛ globe wotumi wogye mu a na ayɛ kɛse saa esi sɛ tu a wɔn ato me I got my try to and then my native side I'll tell you if I did I'll send it looks like you went to me out to not say a globe yeah. So now you can use it to create an internal system that used to rain star and biotechnology to look like listen the form of a web system which is connected to a supercomputer for it to be able to provide internet for a very wide area network and giving the service to big companies and even a town or city yeah, at a very higher speed so that 5G can let us still be moved to maybe 6G or let us making our modernization era to stand and not to collapse because technology is the order of the day. Yes, technology is the order of the day. Yeah. That the mother of technology is iCloud system, where it's going to found. But AI and all those generate from technology. The technology is the basis. Yeah. And the first person to and iCloud belongs to God. Yes, God was the first person who brought iCloud. He commanded the Ten Commandments from the skies to Moses right into his heaven. So our cloud is owned by God, and technology advancement is God who gave it to mankind for us to have a very elaborate system. And right now, to God is giving us an artificial intelligence as to help us modernize and stabilize ourselves to recognize that devil so that the world doesn't end. Not to create promiscuity and things abound. Unity is strength and divided we fall. We stand together. A broom further together when break will never break. A single broom breaks. Unity is strength. And unity we will. God guide us all.